Thank you. Right away. We'll begin right away with questions in the front row.
Stu, you guys were down 10, then I think you scored 9 straight to cut it to 1, and then just couldn't get over the hump. What was the difference in the last few minutes that you guys couldn't get the stops you needed to get the win?
Yeah, I mean, I think that. Is this on? Yes. Yes. Okay. I think that they executed better than us, and really that's it. Both ends of the floor, we weren't able to get um, really anything that we wanted, and then they kept finding, no matter who it was, one of their players corner three, late shot clock three, late shot clock something, um, and that's gonna make it really difficult for us. And I think obviously, 21 turnovers is never gonna win the game.
Staying in the front row.
Hi, Sandy. In the first half, Kennedy Burke provided good minutes, and she scored quite a bit to keep the Lynx on their toes. Clearly, didn't seem like they prepared for her. I'm just curious what she could have done to have played a bit more in the second half.
Yeah, that's a great question. I said to Kennedy, when you look back, you think, oh, maybe I should have went back to you. I thought we'll try and establish JJ a little bit. I thought it was hard offensively, and we had to go away from that. But I thought defensively with her rebounding, that was impactful for us. In hindsight, yeah, probably should have gave her a few more minutes and see what she could have given us a little bit more energy.
Sabrina, I think both teams kind of played to their strengths tonight, but they had a little bit better. They had a couple more 3-pointers. Was the turnovers really the key in terms of what hurt you guys the most? Or Stewie mentioned that. Was that maybe the hardest thing in this game that you guys had a hard time overcoming?
Yeah, I think so, and probably just blowing stuff up and not letting us get into our stuff as easily as normal. Obviously, they're a really active defensive team in terms of taking away your first and second option and making you play a lot quicker than normal. And so those reads, were open, but weren't as easy to make as I think we're used to. And credit to them. I mean, they understood what they wanted to give up and made sure that we went to that. And, they sped us up. And I personally turned the ball over too much. I think I was sped up as well, just trying to get us into our actions. And I think it's a great learning experience, to be honest. It's not like we're not going to face this team again. And I think we can continue to learn what they're doing great defensively and try and use it ourselves as well.
Next question, second row to your right.
Hey, Sabrina, obviously not the result you guys would have wanted, but what was it like just having Courtney Vandersloot out there again?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we've played with her for a while now, and she means so much to us. But her being able to, suit up and do that is not easy. And I think it shows a lot about who she is and how much she cares about being a part of this team and wanting to sacrifice, herself to be able to suit up and be available for us. And so we obviously really missed her. We can't wait to integrate her back in to what it is we're trying to accomplish here. But credit to her. I mean, it's so tough to do what she's doing and to put a smile on her face and to show up for us. Obviously, we would have loved to be able to win this for her and her family, but there's a bigger goal that we're trying to accomplish, and we're excited for her to be a part of that.
The next question to your right in the third row.
Hey, Sandy, back here. JJ scored, 4 points against Minnesota the first time you guys played them. Obviously had 3 tonight. Did they do something differently than what you thought between game 1 and 2 in defending her, and why were they so successful at limiting her touches tonight?
No, we knew exactly what they're going to do for us, and we just didn't execute it very well. Their three-quarter fronting, we didn't have good angles, but their activity, there was always a crowd if she did catch it. But another great learning experience because, JJ's been playing great. They really took her out of the game, making it hard for her to catch the ball and even rotating to her. There's no open threes and no open gaps. Like I said, the way they scramble around is really impressive. And the way that they can make shots and make you run around and wait until you get a great shot, that's impressive as well too. And we're our own worst enemy. We're still right there. It's a great learning experience, but you can't, we rebounded well, but the turnovers were just an Achilles heel tonight.
Next question, second row to your right.
Hey, Coach, we understand it's never one thing, that determines a game. However, the third quarter, was a 10-point quarter. That being said, tonight only recording 10 points in that quarter. What did Minnesota show you guys defensively to, cause the uncharacteristic scoring?
Yeah, look, I think they lifted up their intensity. they were in more passing lanes. I think they'll making us speed up, which we had spoken about, playing with a little bit more poise. They were more physical. We tried to establish JJ down low, and we got some really, turnovers where it's, then we had to go away from it. That was making us take us out of the rhythm that we got there. So, that's on me. We have to, we want to establish a play, but sometimes if it's too hard, we need to play to the rest of them. Once we put the ball back in, we put the ball back in Stewie's hands, and great things were happening out of that. And but like I said, great learning experience for us again, and we're going to meet this team again in a few days.
A couple more from in the room. First row to your right.
Hello, all. Sorry it didn't go your way tonight. Sabrina, my question is for you. You and Kayla Thornton were able to combine for 32 points in the first half. In the third quarter, you guys were only able to get up 3 or 4 shots combined. Did Minnesota do anything differently in that third quarter to you guys defensively? And talking about a learning experience, what's the one thing you want to learn from this game?
No, I mean, I don't think, obviously they turned up their defensive intensity on ball, but I think we were our worst enemy and just trying to kind of reinvent the wheel and not go to what was working. I believe we played really well in the first half. We were moving the ball, and obviously we were trying to get JJ going, and I think we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that in terms of kind of going away from what really worked. And so I think that's a learning experience for all of us, particularly us on the floor, knowing like we just got to trust that we're going to be able to get her going and continue to kind of find different ways. If the post up's not going, then maybe we can continue to try and find ways where we can get her some shots at the 3-point line because she is a great shooter. And so I think the ball just stopped moving, and obviously our turnovers just were like we were trying really hard to get her going. And I think, I had really bad passes and turned the ball over in critical moments that shouldn't have. So I think overall it's a great learning experience in terms of we didn't win this, but I think we're able to go back and figure out what ways, we need to continue to get better as a team to be able to face them, not long from now and potentially in the playoffs as well.
Next question, fourth row to your left. Third row right here. VP, please go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Benajah got back starting lineup today, contributed some really good offense early. Just what did you see from her? How did you think she looked in her first game back?
Yeah, look, I thought she was okay. Obviously, she was a little rusty coming in. That's normal when a player takes, even if it's just a few days out. But she competed hard for us, made some good decisions down the end. She's going to get better. It's hard. It's always a bit of a trap, really, when you had players out and you're bringing them back in and trying to how to work out the rotation. So, but it'll be good for us this week to get us, back on the practice. Get some practice in with the group that we have and build up that chemistry again.
Fourth row to your left.
Hey, Breanna, over here. In that second half, you had 18 of your 24 points, and at one stretch, you had 16 of the team's first 19. What were you seeing that you were able to attack more in that second half when the ball was getting stagnant and you guys were having trouble getting the ball into JJ?
Yeah, I mean, I think just, especially being guarded by a post player, it's really difficult when I'm bringing the ball up and then I'm pitching it and coming off like multiple screens. So, just doing that, Sab and I in action a lot. Just trying to like give us anything I got. It wasn't enough, but I think that those movements, those actions you've seen us do the past however many games, and just continuing to build off that and making sure that when certain things aren't working, then we go to other things and really make it hard for the defense to kind of defend us.
All right, last question from the room. Fourth row to your right.
Hi, Sandy. So your team was able to force 11 turnovers this game, but you only were able to score 6 fast break points. So how do you like to see your team adjust in transition?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we're a pretty good defensive team. I thought we had some breakdowns. I thought we're a little bit of fatigue, a lack of communication. We overhelped when we shouldn't have. Just execution of what we wanted to do. We broke down. And that's why I say, like, we got to be locked in a little bit more. And we've come off a pretty grueling schedule. This is 6 and 11. Not to make any excuses, but I think we got a little bit of fatigue out there and mental fatigue, and that's when your execution goes down. So they're things that we can fix. But only 12. They take care of the ball well. They're very disciplined. I give you that. They move you around a fair bit. They made us work for everything. So they probably tired us out a little bit too with their execution as well. But I'm more concerned about the offensive end, making us turning the ball over 21 times. But we'll fix that as well, and we'll look forward to next week when we play them again.
Our last 2 questions will come from Zoom. We'll start with Jordan and then Howard.
Hey, ladies. So I know you guys didn't get the win tonight, but one of the bright spots that you've had was Kayla Thornton. She was really good for you guys. So I guess just talk about how well she's been playing on both ends of the floor these last couple of games. And anybody can answer this question, by the way.
I'll answer. I mean, I think everyone can see KT's been really big for us on both ends of the floor, being a great two-way player, a great 3-and-D player, and just understanding that role and playing it to the best of her ability. You know, she's ready for those drive and kick threes, and then at the same time, defensively, she's making it really difficult for the opposing guard.
Last question, Howard.
Thanks. Sandy, Sabrina, you each talked a little bit about, moving away from when it wasn't working to try and feed JJ down low. I'm just wondering how you strike that balance with figuring out how much she needs to get the ball. Obviously, both games into Minnesota, she's had 3 shot attempts tonight, 5 the last one, and how much of it comes down to Minnesota being a team defensively that is maybe skilled enough that it does mean the Liberty need to take what the defense is giving them, especially in light of the fact that you guys have so many scorers.
Yeah, I mean exactly. Like JJ, we think she's a great post-up player, but credit to Minnesota, it was a 3-quarter front. They really made it hard for us. They were continually to fight. They're playing her physical, but it's when being disciplined. If it's not open, we just got to keep moving the ball, playing the next action as much as we can. So yeah, I think it was, it stagnated us. So looking back, it was, we wanted to get it going. We thought that would help open up for everybody else. And when it gets aggressive, and in hindsight, it didn't. But JJ just being as a screener, I mean, that's when she's at the best, being a great screener and rolling out of that, and then us continue to move the ball. I think that's against a team like that plays the kind of defense that they do. That's what you have to do.
Breanna, Sandy, Sabrina, thank you.